Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, and with everything going on right now, and specifically with pretty much with My Hero Academia manga and the One Piece manga being delayed until until pretty much May 10th. I I thought I it's kind of one of those things where I thought about just waiting it out and whatnot, but I also kind of at the same time I also wanted to give you guys something like another video or something like that, and I thought I'm just gonna do a random ass video. I'm gonna just do a bit of a random ass video like telling you guys what kind of series I've been reading, watching during lockdown. Like that's gonna be the title of this video. The pretty much anime and manga I've been reading and watching during in the middle of this lockdown. Just kind of one of those random ass videos. But with that said, but you know what? With that said, let's just get into it. So, Spy Family or Spy X Family, and I'll be honest with you guys. With me, a lot of the times it doesn't take. It takes more. It usually takes definitely more in this age of in this age of shonen that we're living in. It usually takes more than a couple chapters in order to get me invested in the series. It would happen with Black Clover. It happened with My Hero Academia and whatnot. But with Spy Family, it is such a unique, such a hilarious, and yet at the same time so wholesome series that all it took was one chapter. One chapter, and I was hooked into the characters. I was hooked into the story. Just it is again, it is by far to me one of the most unique series to come out of Shonen Jump in a long time. I'm talking like on FMA and Gintama levels of uniqueness. Like that's just how invested. Well, pretty much 25 chapters, and I am only 20, it's only got 20 for 25, 26 as of the recording. It's only got like 26 chapters as of the recording of this video, and already I'm in. I just love where the story's going. I love where the characters are going, and the thing is too, going back to the wholesome bit, it's so it's such a unique series in the sense where the characters themselves are the main characters themselves, they're being portrayed as a fake family and just playing house. But at the end of the day, their interactions and their connections with each other is just so wholesome of basically what you'd expect a family to have out of it. Like you truly, even though they're pretending, you truly believe that they're like that the three main characters are a family. And okay, on that front, I gotta say, I think her name is Yawn. Best mom of 2020. Just saying that right now. Best, like Yawn is just best mom. That's really all I can say about it. Like I just yeah. What more can I say? What more can I say? I freaking love I freaking love I freaking love I freaking love this series, and it's really just out of and lately and lately the series does seem like it's moving forward into the more serious plot lines of the story. But honestly, I've just loved my favorite like parts of this series have been just where it focuses on the average day pretty much mundane adventures of our heroes, just with that exaggerated edge to it. So yeah, like if you haven't seen Spy Family, I highly recommend you go check it out. But yeah, let's pretty much move on. Let's move on ahead to basically the next series. So yeah, just to start off and be clear, the particular medium I'm talking about in the case of this series is the manga. I've been reading the manga of Fist of the North Star, and Yeah, it almost seems oddly appropriate that I'd be reading a manga I'd be reading a manga where part of the theme is of a post-apocalyptic world when we're currently in the middle of a pandemic. Like there's something oddly very fitting about that. But to be fair, it was also by sheer coincidence because to be honest, Fist of the North Star has been kind of one of those series that's been on my anime and manga bucket list for a while now. I just never got around to it until now, and I gotta say, I gotta say for I gotta say just from I'm like I think 20 chapters in right now, and so far it's a definitely good read. In fact, it's definitely one of those series where I can clearly tell that we basically talk about we basically talk about all the about how a lot of anime and manga has been inspired by like Dragon Ball or Naruto, all that stuff. But I can definitely see how a lot of those series, hell, even JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, all pretty much spawned from like well, from how they all could have easily spawned from pretty much Fist of the North Star. Like, it's definitely it. Fist of the North Star is definitely one of those series where you can say you can definitely tell it's basically it's basically the progeny, and where majority of the of shonen like from which derived a lot of its where majority of the shonen after it derived a lot of their inspiration from like from basically Fist and North Star. Like you can see how almost everything, you can see a piece of everything in Fist of the North Star. So you can tell like that it in some ways it really all began with Fist of the North Star. And again, for what I'm seeing, for what I see here, um, and again, but at the same time, with the story, like Fist of the North Star, in itself, it's a very simple series, but it's one you can very easily easily kind of get attached to. Like it isn't like it doesn't try it doesn't try and be deep and it doesn't try and be deep and meaningful, but it just kind of it comes across because it just naturally flows in that direction because these are these are characters that we kind of like. These are characters that we can easily get attached to and whatnot. So it's it kind of it kind of adapts to that it kind of adapts to that it kind of adapts to one of my core beliefs about anime and manga, which is that which is that complexity can be born from from basically such simplistic base, like with like how Full Metal Alchemist was. Like Full Metal Alchemist is very much an example of how the story in itself is very simplistic, but it gets its complexities across because of the experiences of the characters and the world and whatnot. And that's very much the same with Fist of the North Star. It's got a very simple story, but the characters are where the complexity comes from. Um, and yet and I guess and I guess that I guess I should kind of address the whole thing with and I guess I should address if I plan to watch the anime at some point. Which yes, the anime is also on my bucket list to watch. It's just right now I want to read through the manga first because I hear that going to the anime there are things the anime did that either like switched things around or cut things out. That's apparently from what I hear, and it's not like that I won't enjoy it. I just kind of want to get prepared, I guess, for that. Um, but yeah, let's yeah, that Fist of the North Star. What can I say? I really enjoy it, and let's go ahead and move on to the next series I've been reading, watching. So yeah, with this pandemic going on, one thing I've found myself doing lately is catching up a lot of the anime I've been watching on Netflix, and one of those is of course Saint Seiya. Definitely it's definitely a classic. Like this was like this was definitely one of my first anime that I ever watched. Like from before I even knew what anime was. Like this Like I still remember when I was watching it years ago that basically that English dubbed theme of of um of the song would come on, and I'd be just hyped in order to watch the episode. As far as nowadays, Saint Seiya is definitely one of those where it's definitely one of those animes where I can't lie, it definitely shows its age a lot more nowadays, but honestly it's just pure fun. Like there's a lot of aspects about the show I can't there's a lot of aspects about the show and the series nowadays I can't deny have not aged well and are a little dated compared to other like 90s anime, but again, it's pure fun. That's the only way I can describe it. Is pure unadulterated fun. Like the and I do admit I still kind of like the whole concept of, and I'd be lying as kind of like a zodiac as a mythology as a guy who loves mythology and whatnot. I do kind of like the whole idea of of the knights of knights that represent these different constellations and whatnot. It's basically it's all fun. They're all fun concepts and ideas. Again, the series itself just the story and hasn't aged well, but it's just pure fun. Now, obviously, with me mentioning the fact that I'm watching this on Netflix, obviously one of the things I have to talk about is the Netflix is the redub on the is the redub that they did for Netflix. And I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those strange redubs where all the dubs for these secondary characters are amazing. Right off the bat, I'll say this: like pretty much David Matronga playing Ares is fucking amazing. But when it comes to the voice actors playing the main cast of characters, that's largely I think where my big gripe with the new English dub of Knights of the Zodiac comes into play. Like I said, all the other voice actors they got for the other characters are great, but the but with the new cast of the main knights like Shiryu, Seiya, all those guys, Shiryu, Seiya, Hyuga, all those guys, that's where the problems come in for me with the dub because it feels like they're underplaying their performances, like they're not getting as emotionally invested into the roles as they should. But it is what it is. But like I said, it's largely entertaining every time I hear the other characters speak, but every time it's the main cast, it's like no. I'll give the main cast this. I pretty much do like I do like the guy playing Iki. He's the one who's kind of like I think putting any. He feels like the only guy who's putting any effort into it. But yeah, Iki and Iki for sure. But yeah, guys. But yeah, it's. But yeah, like what can I say? This is Zodiac, a classic that's a little dated, but a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm choosing to cap off this entire video by basically talking about some JoJo's. That's right, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And when it comes to the funny thing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is that in many respects, it is probably an overhyped series. It is more than, and it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But but first, just for me, just for me, like from starting this rewatch of the entirety of JoJo's, it's made me realize this is kind of the perfect anime. This is the perfect anime franchise for situations like this because it is slow. I'm not gonna deny that. Part three, as many pointed out, does have a lot of pacing issues. Personally, I don't hate part three. I don't hate part three as much as anyone else. I think it's actually a lot better than people give it credit for, but I do recognize that part. But at the same time, again, it's one of those where despite those issues, it's a series that, again, it was made for situations like this because while it can be slow, it's also it still is vastly entertaining, even in the slowest of even in the slowest of times. And and really there's nothing, and really in situations like this you kind of do need to be entertained. And I think, well, JoJo's for me, it just gives me that just pure that that pure entertainment factor in every level, like. And it just gives me that pure entertainment factor on every level. Like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't really matter for anything else. It's just like this provides me with the perfect kind of this provides me with the perfect, like, way to pretty much burn down the clock and just turn my brain off to, like, everything that's been going on in the background. Like, let's just say during this whole thing, there's a lot I've been kind of like, there's some things I've been kind of grappling with here and there, and that has caused me to kind of like go into not necessarily panic modes, but some just sort of some sort of like this constant worrying about what's gonna happen and whatnot. And JoJo's is just that kind of escapism that just lets me kind of just turn it all off, I guess you could say. Um, but yeah, guys. But that's pretty much all I got for this video. Just tell me down below in the comments what anime you guys are watching during this pandemic, or what manga you're reading. Like, what is your what's the series you guys are keeping yourselves busy with, or just series in general. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. That's all I got. Just, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Crunchyroll. Dead Night of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.